Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into a real corporate roller coaster. We're looking at UnitedHealth Group, UNH. Not long ago, it was one of the absolute worst performers on the Dow in 2025, losing almost half its value, a huge fall. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, the stock just skyrockets. Over 11% in a single day. Helped push the whole Dow towards a record high. So the big question is, what caused this whiplash, this unbelievable comeback? And maybe more importantly for you listening, can it actually last? Let's dive in.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story. And to really get it, you have to understand just how enormous UnitedHealth Group is. I mean, this isn't your average company. It's based in Minnesota, sure, but it's the world's biggest healthcare company by revenue, a major player. Think about the big indexes, Dow Jones, S&P 500, Fortune Global 500, UNH. It's a key part of all of them. It's a giant. And its business is kind of split in two, mainly. You've got UnitedHealthcare, that's the insurance side many people know. Then there's Optum, and Optum has just exploded. It covers healthcare services, data analytics, pharmacy benefit management. It's huge and growing.
Right, a really integrated structure. And they didn't get that big just by sitting around. UNH has this history of really aggressive growth, often buying up other companies. The Change Healthcare deal, for instance, that got a lot of attention from regulators, didn't it? Antitrust concerns.
It certainly did, and that wasn't, a one-off thing. They've faced lawsuits, big fines over the years, things like how they handled Medicaid claims, mental health claims, even accusations of being anti-competitive.
So even before this recent crisis, they were navigating some pretty choppy waters. Okay, so let's talk about this recent storm then. What exactly happened to make this behemoth stumble so badly in 2025? It wasn't just one thing, was it?
No, definitely not. It was more like a series of body blows, one after another. A major one, and one that's still sort of hanging over them, is the Department of Justice investigation, specifically into their Medicare Advantage business. Authorities are looking into whether UNH might have inflated risk scores.
Risk scores. Remind us quickly what those are.
Sure. Basically, the government assigns these scores based on a patient's health. Sicker patients, higher scores. And higher scores mean higher payments for the insurer. So the allegation is that UNH might have artificially boosted these scores to get bigger reimbursements than they should have.
Okay. And this investigation is serious.
Very serious. It's escalated to include both criminal and civil inquiries. They're apparently interviewing former employees, doctors. That level of DOJ scrutiny really spooked the market.
Yeah, you can imagine. And while that was going on, the financials started looking shaky too, right? Q2 2025 was rough.
Rough is an understatement. They reported a massive medical cost overrun. We're talking $6.5 billion.
$6.5 billion. Wow.
Exactly. Unexpected costs just ballooned. It showed how exposed even giants like UNH are to rising healthcare use, especially in government plans like Medicare Advantage and Medicaid.
So what did that do to their bottom line?
It crushed their profit margins. They had to slash their profit forecast for the year drastically.
Right.
Went from predicting around $26 per share of the EPS down to about $16.
A huge cut.
A huge cut. And the company itself admitted these cost trends were, quote, unprecedented, especially in those government plans. That sent chills down Wall Street.
Okay, so legal pressure, financial pressure, and then there was trouble at the top too. Leadership issues.
Yeah, absolutely. It added another layer of uncertainty. First, back in April 2025, they missed their Q1 earnings numbers. But then they also completely withdrew their financial guidance for the year.
Which never looks good.
Never. The stock dropped sharply. Then, just a month later, in May, the CEO, Andrew Witty, suddenly resigned.
Abruptly.
Seemed that way. And they brought back a former CEO, Stephen Hemsley. His job, basically, restore confidence, get a clear strategy on costs, urgently.
And wasn't there also a really tragic event involving another executive?
Yes, and that was just awful. Brian Thompson, the CEO of the UnitedHealthcare division, was tragically shot and killed in December 2024. It happened during an investor event.
It's just terrible.
Terrible. And beyond the human tragedy, it undeniably created huge reputational concerns and leadership questions for investors. A very unsettling time.
And as if that wasn't enough, there was the cyberattack earlier in 2024. The Change Healthcare incident.
Right, another massive blow. Change Healthcare is a big part of their Optum business, handling claims and payments. The cyberattack basically shut down large parts of the claims processing system across the U.S. Doctors, hospitals, they couldn't get paid, couldn't file claims easily.
That sounds like chaos for providers.
It was. Many were facing real financial distress, even insolvency risk. UNH ended up spending over $6 billion just to provide support, like emergency funding, to those affected providers.
$6 billion more, on top of the cost overrun.
Exactly, and all while facing intense questions from regulators about the security breach and the response. It was a huge operational and financial headache.
So we've got DOJ probes, cost blowouts, leadership changes, a CEO's tragic death, a massive cyber attack. Anything else?
Well, layered on top of all that were these broader reputational issues and media scrutiny. There were reports about UNH maybe paying nursing homes to limit hospital stays, things like that, and claims that they were quite aggressive in trying to shut down criticism, using legal threats or take down notices.
So it all feeds into a narrative, doesn't it?
It does. You have to ask, how much did all these controversies chip away at trust? Both public trust and investor trust. It definitely made the strategic and regulatory problems feel even heavier, like the company was under siege from all sides.
Okay, so let's quantify the damage. With all that going on, how bad did it get for the stock?
It was brutal. From its peak, UNH stock fell somewhere between 40% and 55%. Hundreds of billions in market value just gone. In 2025 alone.
You could almost track the hits.
You really could. April, the earnings miss and withdrawn outlook, big drop. May, the CEO resigns, another slide. July, the DOJ probe gets confirmed more widely, stock falls further. Then the Q2 results with that huge cost overrun just deep in the dive. A relentless downward spiral.
Okay, so after all that, the rebound. What on earth could turn that ship around so dramatically?
Well, the single biggest spark, the main catalyst, was news about Berkshire Hathaway.
Warren Buffett's company.
The very same. It came out that during that disastrous second quarter, Q2 2025, Berkshire had quietly been buying UNH stock. A lot of it. Around 5 million shares. Worth something like $1.57 to $1.6 billion at the time.
Buffett buying into the storm.
Exactly. And when that news hit the market, UNH stock just exploded upwards, 11% to 14% in one day. Its best day in, depending how you measure, maybe 5 years, maybe even 16 years.
That's more than just money, isn't it? It's the Buffett effect.
Absolutely. It's a huge psychological boost. It signals to everyone that maybe, just maybe, this company isn't broken, it's just undervalued. It completely reframes the story almost overnight.
And was it just Berkshire, or did others follow?
Others definitely jumped in or increased their stakes. Big respected names like Appaloosa, Lone Pine to Sigma. They were also adding to their positions.
So a broader wave of institutional confidence returning.
Yes, reinforcing that optimism. And UNH's big jump actually helped pull the whole Dow Jones average up near a record high that day. There were also wider hopes about interest rate cuts, helping the market generally, so it was sort of a perfect positive storm for UNH stock at that moment.
Okay, so big money stepping in. What about the analysts and the technical picture? Did that change too?
It did shift noticeably. You started hearing analysts talk about potential upside again, maybe 20, 24% from those levels. They started highlighting the valuation, saying, look, UNH is now trading at compelling multiples, especially considering its dividend and its price-to-earnings ratio, basically arguing it looked cheap relative to its profit potential.
And the charts. What were the technical analysts saying?
The chart watchers pointed to a clear breakout. The stock price had moved decisively above the downtrend line it had been stuck under. They started identifying potential resistance levels, places the stock might struggle to get past, maybe $325 up to $440, and also support levels, price floors, where buyers might step in down near $235 to $250, suggesting, maybe the worst of the fall was over from a technical view.
So bringing this all together, we have this incredible collapse followed by this dramatic rebound fueled by big investors. What does this actually mean for UNH going forward? Is this recovery real?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Let's look at the bullish case first. That Buffett endorsement, you just can't ignore it. It strongly suggests that, despite everything, UNH is seen as having long-term value. Plus, the core businesses UnitedHealthcare and especially Optum are still incredibly powerful engines for revenue and profit. They haven't disappeared.
So the underlying business is still strong?
Fundamentally, yes.
Yeah.
And some analysts are putting out forecasts, looking out to 2028, suggesting potential gains of 50%, even 80%, and it's a big if they can get those margins back to normal and control costs.
Okay, that's the optimistic view. What about the risks? What could derail this recovery?
Well, the risks are still very real and very significant. That DOJ investigation, it's not over. The potential fines, if they materialize, could be enormous. Some estimates put it over $10 billion. That would be a major hit.
A massive overhang.
Definitely. And the core problem, medical cost inflation hasn't gone away. It's still running hot across the industry. UNH's entire profit recovery really depends on them getting a handle on that. It's critical.
And leadership?
Leadership is key. Stephen Hemsley, the returning CEO, has a huge job. It's not just about strategy. It's about rebuilding trust with investors, with the public, with regulators. They need a clear plan for reform, and they need to deliver on it.
And the past controversies don't just vanish, right? Reputation damage, cyber risks.
Exactly. The reputation hit from all these issues is significant. And the Change Healthcare attack was a stark reminder of the ongoing cyber threats in healthcare. These remain major challenges that could easily flare up again.
So, quite a journey we've traced here. From UNH's spectacular fall amid all those legal, cost, and leadership crises, to this sudden, surprising surge really kicked off by that major vote of confidence from Berkshire Hathaway and others.
It really feels like UNH's intense season of storms might be easing. But the key question remains, is the storm truly passing? Or could this just be a temporary lull before things get rough again?
So, after hearing all this, thinking through the turnaround and the lingering dangers, what's your take? Do you see this as a smart recovery in progress for UnitedHealth Group? Or does it feel more like a risky rebound built on shaky ground? Something to think about. And just a reminder for everyone listening, please note we are not certified financial advisors, and this content is only for educational purposes. If you are considering making any investment decisions, please consult a certified financial advisor.